Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer, a screamer.
What is going on, entertainers? So today I'm doing my recap of the Surreal Life episodes 1 and 2. Before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, let me know what you guys think about this video. So if you guys haven't checked out the Surreal Life on VH1, check it out. It is on streaming sites if you guys do not have cable, because most of us nowadays, we don't got cable. So if y'all want to check it out, it's online, Mr. World Premiere, all that. Watch the episode, come back and watch the recap, okay? So it starts off, the cast, the first person who enters in the house is Dennis Rodman. So he starts talking about his life and buzzy, saying that he invented gender bending. We all know this, okay? Because before there was a Santana, there was a Dennis Rodman, okay? So he had the wedding dress, the makeup, all that type stuff. So he did it in a time to where there was nobody around doing that. So shouts out to him for doing that, especially him being straight, and he was still getting the hoo-ha from the girls. So that still say a lot. Okay, second thing, person who enters in is Tamar. See, I know Tamar. She get your life. It's Tamar Braxton. I'm back, and I'm more than my reality TV personality. You know, so I enter in the house. I see Dennis Rodman. I'm like, Dennis, what you doing here? Like, she's so extra. You know, I never really liked Tamar. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Something about her, just her media presence, irritated me because she messed with one of my favorite celebrities, which is Kim Michelle. Because I respect Kim Michelle's artistry so much. And her, when Kim Michelle and her was beefing, I was just never here for Tamar. Because I'm like, you're doing the most. I remember when Kim Michelle was trying to be nice to her at one point. I was like, you're still doing the most. But Tamar doesn't bother me now because, especially watching this show, you could tell that like a lot of what she's been through has kind of like changed her mindset on things and just life in general. Okay. So Manny comes in and he's gobsmacked to be across all these celebrities. So he's just like, oh my God, is that Dennis Rodman? Tamar Braxton? Mind you, they don't know who he is because he's a YouTuber. So I'm like, I would be so scared to go in there as a YouTuber because it's like nobody really knows YouTubers unless like you're like huge, like unless you're like Jeffree Star, one of these people that end up on the blogs. But if you're just YouTube famous and people don't subscribe to your channel or know you, nobody gonna really know you. So yeah, Tamar's just like, who's this? Dennis is like, who's that? And then we meet CJ, right? Who does know Manny because she watches his channel. But mind you, CJ, you guys, I never heard of this lady a day in my life. I heard of Dennis, I heard of Manu anyway. Of course, we know Tamar. When the CJ lady came in, I'm like, Harpo, who this white blonde woman? So she comes in, she was just like, I love Manny anyway. I've watched Manny anyway on YouTube all the time. Tamar again is like, who's that? She'll really know him. And then we meet Kim from Living Single. Not Kim Fields, the other Kim, okay? They should have both Kims on there just to gag them, okay? So they could kind of see who they're going to call Kim F and Kim, whatever her last name is that's on this show. Okay, so she comes in or whatever, and she has that hairstyle. I'm glad she came in with that hairstyle because I knew exactly what she was based off the hairstyle because I don't think I ever seen her change that hairstyle. So I knew exactly what it was with the dry sniggerless hair style that she had, okay? Shout out to you, Kim, okay? And then we meet Frankie from Malcolm in the Middle. Life is unfair. When I tell you guys, that was my show back in the day. Like, oh my God. Like, I would watch, they would play the marathons on CW. For the girls that know, they know. They used to play it on CW and they used to play the reruns on CW. I used to watch that show like relentlessly. All the reruns, like everything. Like, because we had no cable back in the day. So that was my show. So mind you, he comes in. He is so short. I didn't know he was that short in real life. He's like, you could put Frankie in your pocket. Like he's like this small. So he comes in, start greeting everyone, and then we meet August. So the producer already asked him. He was just like, "So do you want to talk about the entanglement during the confessional?" He was like, not gonna lie, I really want to talk about it. Like, no. I'm just from the Wildlands, and my name August. I'm just like, listen, this is the reason why you were casted, young man. Like, nobody really cares about a lot of the other stuff you have going on. We want to hear what happened with Will Smith and them. That's it. Okay, that's why VH1 contacted you. That's why they gave you the contract. Okay, so don't try to make it seem like they just contacted you just because you're so talented. Like, and don't get me wrong, I think August Alsina is talented because he can actually sing without auto tune or, studio manipulation. But no, don't get it messed up. Okay, so they all get situated or whatever, and Dennis gets naked. I know he got a big old schlong. Like, it's probably like this big. So he gets naked or whatever. Apparently, that's his thing. He goes to sleep naked. He doesn't go to sleep with clothes on, which I'm just like, oh wow, like that is a gag raw. Like he does not go to sleep with clothes on. So that's just a little FYI for the girls that wanted to know. So we see August, you guys. It wasn't supposed to get doesn't have a roommate, and we see later why the roommate ends up showing up later. Stormy Daniels, the lady who slept with Trump and now. Okay, she had a little tryst with the orange carrot. Okay, so she comes in later on in the episode. We'll get to that later. Okay, so then the next day happens in August. By the way, like when you have an idea how a celebrity is gonna be, and then you see them on TV or something, you're like, whoa, like you're like that. Oh. That's how I was watching him on the show. I was like, I didn't picture him like that. Like, I didn't picture him being so earthy and zen and feathered cap. I didn't picture that at all. So that kind of threw me off, to be honest. That kind of threw me off, to be honest. But like, there's nothing wrong with being earthy or whatever. But it's like you had an image of somebody in your mind. You're like, wow, like that will tell you. Watch my story time for the future music video, because I expect him to be a little different too. So my members already watched that video, but if you're not subscribed to the membership, please do, because I'm telling you, like that story time was funny. So we get to the next day or whatever. Everybody wakes up. We see everybody wake up routine. Tamar says she does sit-ups. Y'all, the camera shaded her so bad. We just see her on her phone like this. Talking about she do sit-ups in the morning. I'm like, girl, what sit-ups? You mean you sit down? So then after that, we see August doing some yoga and some wusa. I told you he's really zen with his bodies. He's doing that or whatever. And then we see everybody else getting up. You already know Dennis sleeping naked. So he gets up, put his clothes on. So they do this this wrestling challenge, right? There was this big wrestling challenge, and then everybody had to make up their own characters about who they were going to be for the wrestling challenge. And the next episode, they get home, and Stormy Daniels pops up. So this lady, right, slept with Trump, and I guess started speaking out about it and did an interview about it. And what they did at the interview, this is why I got to be careful with interviews, because they could really edit you to look like an idiot. She did a interview and then mentioned a whole lot of stuff about Trump and everything like that, but they cut out everything else, and they just left the parts of where she was talking about sleeping with Trump and basically portrayed her as a hooker whore. Okay, like she had Trump's orange sickle all in her mouth and just her experience about it, and cut everything out. She said that, mind you, she gets there, she's like, hi guys, you guys don't know who I am? I'm Stormy Daniels. You guys don't know? And I'm just like, are we supposed to know? Like, I'm confused. I was like, okay, like, not gonna lie, I heard of her, but if you put her in the lineup and with a whole bunch of blonde women, I'll say pick out Stormy Daniels, I'm probably not gonna pick her correctly. So don't act like you feel me, you Beyonce, you just walked up in a room like you Britney Spears or something, talking about, hey baby, like, girl, no. We don't know who you are like that. We know of your story, but you don't know who you are. Tamar knew who she was, because Tamar stayed with a T. So Tamar exactly knew who she was or whatever. And she also mentioned, because and Manny didn't know who she was. And Manny was like, I'm not gonna lie, who are you? And then she was like, you don't know? And he was like, no, like, I'm not even lying. Like, who are you? Like, why are you in my house? Like, who are you? And then she's just like, oh, like, I slept, I had a little night tryst with Trump. And she brags about it a little bit too much for me. Like, that's not something you go around telling everybody and be proud of it. Like, the man is a big orange blob. Regardless of your political views, entertainers, he's not the most attractive person. So it's like, why are you going around, telling your biz? Like, I would just kind of, relax, girl. Okay, don't. Like she relaxed. Like so she kept telling everybody about it. And she mentioned some interesting stuff she said in the interview. She said that Donald Trump offered her to be on The Apprentice. She helped Hillary get like a phone. She was on the phone with Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump was on the phone with Hillary Clinton at some point. So it shows that Donald and Hillary were in communication for some reason. He said a lot of racial slurs. And the one thing about The Apprentice thing that was interesting, he said that Donald Trump would make sure that she would win The Apprentice if she got casted. Like all the challenges, like he would make sure she got to the end, which I'm just like, this makes it kind of, makes me look at the show both ways. It makes me look at the show kind of suspect, because it's like, if he could do that, imagine what he did for the other seasons. Let me know what y'all think. But yeah, she is a porn star, okay? So she's been, she's a paid whore, okay? She gets a lot of God. All right, so she also brings a voodoo doll to the house, which kind of threw me off, because I'm like, who do voodoo? Like, why you got a voodoo doll in the house? So she had a whole voodoo doll in the house. I don't know why. She says she's a paranormal activity person, and this doll helps protect her when she does like the paranormal protective stuff that she does. But then she did say 2 months ago she was homeless. So I'm like, when did you get into the paranormal things? To me, she seems like a little bit of a liar, and just she has so much layers that it's like some of the layers don't add up. Like they go like this. Maybe it's just me. Let me know what you guys think. And then August, you guys, throws her bed down the stairs, BGC style, because of the voodoo doll. Okay. He was not into Judy. Okay. I was like, okay, Judy BGC, Judy Jai BGC 7. Okay, Judy G Jai crazy. Why are you in the house with a voodoo doll? Like, this is not BGC New Orleans. So August wasn't feeling the voodoo doll because it was messing with his zen. Okay. It was messing with his zen, and he didn't appreciate it. So what he proceeded to do was go upstairs, grab the bed, throw it down the thing, because his room was basically like, the way the house is, it's like set up like two levels. So he throws the bed down the stairs, like drags it near the pool or something, like BGC. I was like, okay, that was a little bit much. You could have asked one of the roommates to kind of take it down with you. August to me comes across as if like he wants to show you that, like, hey, I'm tough, so don't mess with me off the bat, or don't get too comfortable with me. So that way it's like a protective style. If you guys get what I'm saying, if y'all watch the show, right? So after that happens, mind you, this was so awkward because everybody's just watching. And Dennis wasn't feeling it. He was like, who does this guy think he is? Like, you're taking a bed, you're putting it outside. Like, what do you think you are? Like, what are you, like, no, what are you doing? Like, no, I don't like that. Like, you put the bed downstairs. Like, this guy think he is like this guy, bro. Like, August, Austin, like, this dude, like, no. He was just not feeling it. I was like, I felt some type of way too, because it's like the way he did it was so rude. So, of course, it was awkward. The next day, they go to dinner. And they dress all nice or whatever, and they start playing 21 questions. Okay, 21. So they start playing 21 questions, and the first person who starts is I forgot who. I think it was like Manny or something like that. And he starts going around asking questions and stuff like that. And then August gets asked a question by Dennis. Okay. Oh no, I think they were playing two truths, one lie, or something like that, right? Two truths, one lie, or something. So August at one point gets asked a question by Dennis. So Dennis was just like, "Oh, so what's it? What's that plans in like 4 years? Like, what is it? What is it?" And then August was just like, the way my energy set up, I don't really plan to answer that, but every time he would try to answer, they're just like, what? Like, wait. 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. Like, he just kept interrupting him. So August just got mad. He was like, when you gonna let me talk, man? Like, you keep interrupting me. Like, I don't like that. I'm from New Orleans. Like, he did not like the way he was interrupting him, which I get. So Dennis felt so awkward. I think Dennis was doing that to kind of test August, because he was like, oh, you think you're ahead? I'm going to try to keep messing with you, okay? Since you want to be a little a-hole, I want to keep messing with you just to poke. Like, he was kind of poking the bear just to have August kind of popped like a balloon. But he had the wrong one, okay? Because August, I said, ooh, not gonna lie, August is interesting to me. Like, I would have a conversation with him to just to get to know him more, because like he's like an interesting figure to me. So they get like this note or whatever, and they're told that they got to do yoga. This is the next day. So, and then the second part of the yoga session, because they're all doing the yoga, you know, busting the air, big W cakes in the air, boop, 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 boop. They're doing the yoga. And the next part, the yoga instructor was like, it's okay. What we're going to do is we're all going to get a partner. Let's go outside. So I'm thinking they're doing goats, because I thought the same thing Manny thought, like they're doing goat yoga, because I've seen that on shows and just in general. Turns out, you guys, it was some horses, okay? It was some horses, and they had to get on top of the horses and ride the horse, save the cowboy. So they got to ride the horses and stuff, and they tried to make them do yoga on the horses. I'm like, I've never heard of that a day in my life. Yoga on horses. It just doesn't make any sense. So they try to get on the horses, do a little up all the way up. I'm like, baby. One thing about it, I'll be scared to even get on a horse and sit on it. You're gonna tell me to stand on it and think gonna be cute, baby? Not gonna happen. Like, no. So gets on the horse. The yoga instructor gets on it. She's like, mind you, Kim was so scared to get on there, and Tamar was playing for her life to get on that horse. She was just like, like I'm not gonna get on there. But she ended up getting on the horse. Kim, it took every beat and mic for her to get on the horse fully. That would have been me, because I just don't like. I like to be in control. I'm a very like. I like to do things my way, control type stuff. So like, to give somebody complete authority, it's just not tea for me, like at all. So none of the cast ended up standing up doing the yoga except for CJ's wrestling ass. So she gets up, she does the pose, she does the pose or whatever. And then the group separate. We see Dennis by himself, right? And then we see Frankie and August go horseback riding. I guess they're like they ended up being besties or whatever, I guess, throughout the show, because they talked about it in their confessionals. So they're riding the horse or whatever. Mind you, I guess the horse was going a little bit too fast, so Frankie's balls and testes were just getting flapped and punched around, okay? Getting slapped around more than a baddie South member. Just boop, boop, boop. So he was in pain, okay? And then Manny and Tamar and Kim hang out, and CJ comes out in a bikini. And I go like, before Tamar said, I thought the same thing. I said, you know, you trying to do that to show off your body, okay? She come up in there with her bikini. She boot, you know, chimichangas out, Debbie cakes out. I'm like, you're trying to, you know, show off your figure, girl. Like, I see what you're doing here, girl. I see what you're doing. So, Manu MUA ends up coming out and opens up about his coming out experience. Says that like his parents, when he came out to them, was like, "Oh, do you want therapy?" And then he was like, "Yeah." So the amount of therapy he thought he was gonna get, ooh, that was so nasty. Anyways, the therapy that he thought he was gonna get was like a one-on-one therapy. It turns out to be like a conversion therapy. They put like this wristband on him, and then they even put this thing to where it traces his heartbeat, so that way they can see if him being his heart racing a lot made him gayer. And I'm like, whoa, I never heard of that before. Like, you mean to tell me you think because his heart beats a little quicker, that makes him more gay? That's smart, right? But people not born like that, right? Yeah, they're not. They just decide one day, wake up like, I want to be gay. No, like, I'm so glad Manny talked about this, because I never heard of that a day in my life. So they all get back to the house, and all the guys are on one spot or whatever. And Manny's like, "Oh my god, like we're all in one spot. Wow." So they start asking each other questions and start talking about each other's lives. Manny gonna ask. He says, "Oh, have any of you guys?" Because he starts talking about being in a relationship. He's never been in one and everything like that. I'm like, me too. But he was like, he never been in one or whatever, and he's always wondered what it's like, and then he's always wondered what an open relationship is like. So he was just like, have any of you guys been in any open relationship or like non-monogamous relationships? Anytime monogamous comes up in this episode or these two episodes, or multiple relationship comes up, they flag the camera and pan the camera to August, and you see August's face like, and I'm like, you know what you did, August. Just come out and just admit it. Just admit what you did, okay? So you can get some discipline for what you did to Candy. Okay, we just need for you to admit what you did. That's all I'm saying, because it was like, it just didn't make any. They keep bringing it up, and he's just not wanting to like really talk about it. We're like, it's like they're giving you prompts, like they're prompting you to really explain, and you're trying to like ignore it, which isn't tea. But after that happens, he kind of just doesn't take offense to the comment. But Manny MUA in the confession, he's just like, I did not mean to do that. Like, that was not on purpose. I'm sorry. Like, my bad. That wasn't on purpose. Anyways, like, it wasn't on purpose. I don't think it was on purpose, but it was just hilarious to me because he really almost gagged August. So he talked about, he was just like, like, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've experienced a while. You feel me? So I would never say no. So that's all I'm gonna say on that one. He's very like earthy and just very like, that is. All right, so I guess Manny thought he was gonna snap on him. They ended up having a good talk. Of course, Manny talks about how his family tried to pray the gay away from him and all of that. So it's good that we're getting the story from Manny, and he's opening up about that, right? So the next day happens, and they have a barbecue. So this series is fun. They be having fun, but they still have a little drama every now and then. So they have a barbecue. They go into this church, and we see August start singing. He's like, what happened to August Alsina's career? He fell off to me after he made Man, I Love It. Man, I love it. Because I love this. And I'm going to keep on drinking because I love this. And I'm going to keep on riding because I love this. Remember when Trinidad James was in style? Okay, when he had a good hair. The curls were bouncing. That was the days, right? So what happened to his career? Like, what happened? Because it's kind of like he could sing, but then he wouldn't be featured on some songs you would think he would be featured on, more Chris Brown songs. It's kind of like he kind of fell off. So I really wonder, I hope he gets into this in the upcoming episodes about what happened to your career. Like, what happened, right? So then the CJ lady starts cursing in the church, which I thought was disrespectful too, just like Tamar did. I really wish Tamar had snapped on her, to be honest. But she was just like, you really gonna church? You really gonna curse in the church, girl? In the house of the Lord? I gotta go. So she ends up leaving. And then after that happens, they all gather around and they start playing, like, they start asking each other questions, just start talking and stuff like that. And they start to try to get to know Dennis more. So one thing that irritated Dennis was Tamar kept calling him Pop Pop, which I'm like, you the oldest man in the house. If they call you Pop Pop, if they call you Pa, don't be mad, okay? You're just the dad of the house. So he was taking offense to that. He did not like it. And they start asking more questions. So they're like, like, what is it about you that you would like to change or regret or something like that? And then he was like, not gonna lie, I was a crappy dad. So Tamar, of course, relates it to everything she went through, how she felt like she was a crappy mom because she didn't know her kid like that. She didn't know what was her kid's favorite color, favorite food. All she thought was, hey, I could provide for my kid and provide all the physical things, so I don't need to be there in my kid's life. Right? So we go into this question with Dennis. So they're like, Dennis, what's your biggest regret? So he was just like, yeah, I don't think I was a good dad. Like, no, I was a good dad at all. Like, my kids, like, I wasn't there in their life at all. Like, they don't even know me. Like, no. So they're like, okay, like, how old are your kids? CJ was like, how old are your kids? He goes, oh, what do you need? Huh? What color are you wearing? That's a cute shirt. I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute. Stop deflecting, answer the question. It's weird to me, but I understand him though, because like, I like people knowing my business. So I get it. So I know this show is not easy to do because you're literally opening up to a whole bunch of people that you do not know like that, and you're telling them all your business, all your personal information, right? So I kind of get it, but then again, it's like don't be asking other people questions too if you're not willing to open up. That's my whole thing. So the episode kind of ends off there where everybody just sort of confused as to why he's not answering the question. The next episode looks really, really lit. We see Tamar crying, which that happens probably off the garage. Because Tamar cries, I feel like at a drop of a dime. But she did reveal in this episode she was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. So hopefully it's nothing too serious and it's something a little bit petty. So yeah, this series to me I actually really do like it. I'm gonna keep recapping it because I think it's a good series. Like they have funny moments, but they also have like the little drama every now and then. Okay, let me know what you guys think about August Alsina on TV because, like I said, we never really got to know him in depth. I don't feel like so. The fact that we got to know him in depth. Remember what he did? Wasn't he the one who did something rude to Roxy Diaz? Remember he said something rude to Roxy Diaz or something like that? Was that him or was that somebody else? Let me know. Leave your comments down below. Entertainers, we're out, babies.
No personal thing.